right, welcome to our podcast. We have a special guest. His name is David. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Hey, David. He's my friend. I should be the one to introduce him.
You're
That's okay. Go
ruining
ahead.
it. I was just going to ask David, so how do you know us? How do you know my dad? And you just ruined it.
You got to be in charge all the time, don't you?
Oh, my goodness. You know, here, you want to host a podcast? I'll let you take the notes.
So, David.
Children.
What's the question?
How does he know you?
Oh.
How'd you meet me?
Well, I think we actually met when my wife and I moved back from Minnesota about 7 years ago, actually. And we were attending MCC Church down in Morgantown, and you guys were also attending at that point. So I think we actually first met in one of the classes that we took,
That's right.
when we first started there. And then we ended up working on some committees together. And then we were in the same life group together. So we kind of found out that we kind of meshed a little bit, and some of our interests and things like that. So I think that explains it. And then of course I met you through him.
Yep. He knows everybody. I think
he
I could go out to dinner with him and he'll know like multiple people.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing how every time I'm amazed at this guy, because he will know somebody's first cousin who has a friend that is once removed and knows a guy that works here or whatever. He does. He's so connected. It's scary.
It is.
Well, it's because I'm old. Been around for a while.
Oh.
You're not any older than I am, my
I was
friend.
going to say, you said it. So, David, we had you on every episode of our show, and you oversaw the projects. What is your background? Like, why did we feel that you were a good fit for that?
I have the slightest idea, to tell you the truth.
Oh, man.
But,
What was your
in
background?
my working career, my professional career, I tended to be in management, administrative types of positions and leadership type of positions. It's kind of funny because my wife and I do serve coaching at our current church, and we work through gifts assessment and everything like that. And so I pulled mine out just the other day again to remind myself what it was. And like the first one was leadership, administration, serving and everything. I don't get the cool stuff, like prophecy and evangelism and stuff. Now those are further down on the list. Anyway, so a lot of my positions that I've had professionally have been in situations where I organize and manage projects and things like that. So I don't know if you saw that in me or not. I doubt it. But
Well, my dad knew a little about you, and he said that you oversaw like projects and events.
I did.
Big
yes.
events with thousands of people. He's like, if he can do that, he's more than capable of overseeing our projects. And I will say, after working with you on this show, you are very detail oriented. You're very good at communicating. Everybody loves you. To be a good leader, they need to like and respect you, the people
Thank
that are
you
under
very
you.
much
So
for that. I'll
you
tell you
did
what.
such a good job.
Sometimes it was hair raising, because just when we needed to have something done, everybody was pulled away for some other reason,
Right.
So it was a constant juggling of schedules, of having, materials there, the right people at the right places, and that whole thing. So
That was a huge problem.
It was a problem. Who was in charge of that anyway?
Well, I'm not really sure. But we learned for next
I
time.
was supposed to get the materials there to him, and he's like, Jeff, I needed this yesterday.
hey, I made plenty of runs.
Oh, yeah.
But now season 2 is going to be very different.
Okay.
So you don't know this yet, but you're going to still, you have to be part of it. I'm just saying. And we'd like you involved in the planning so that you make sure the materials are there, because I don't want to have to do that again. I ended up, we filmed 2 different times, and I ended up getting sick both times. I'm just not the young guy I used to be and tried to do too much, and
It does take its toll.
Oh my, yeah.
I don't want to cram it all in.
Yeah.
We filmed for maybe a total of 4 weeks for the whole season.
Yeah.
Let's make that longer. Let's
Yeah.
film for several months for a whole season. Then it's not so rushed. Like
let's
Dad and
enjoy
I are
the journey,
doing. We're traveling and shopping at different places and filming in restaurants, all while you had the renovations going on. So we had to check in with the renovations. We had to do all of the B storylines. We were doing it all like at once.
Right.
I think it'd be nice to space it out a little bit and.
I agree.
You know.
One thing we learned about David is he's willing to do anything, because he saw that I was in a mess, and really
It
got
was.
in over our head.
Me too.
We just couldn't get everything done, and he
Yeah.
just steps up and just does it. And one thing I learned about David, he really enjoys painting.
Yes. Oh, I absolutely love to paint. I am the worst painter. I'll tell you, if I had to paint for a living, I'd starve.
You've told me probably 10 times now you don't like to paint, but every
I know. I end up with a paintbrush in my hand.
I'll say, David, I know you don't like to paint, but this really got to get done.
Well, we do have another person who's not in this podcast, Jacob, who is very good at painting.
He
He
is
is.
very detail oriented in
He's good at
painting.
it,
I'm
yeah.
amazed. I mean, I have
Yeah.
to tape things off. He can
Yeah.
just steady hand. Youngsters, I hate him. Stuff like that.
Takes all of us. He'll do the painting
Yeah.
in season 2.
Yeah.
So the renovation we did in this episode is, well, the episode's called Get a Hobby. So Dad and I are trying to help, well, I'm trying to help Dad find a hobby is the basic premises of this episode. But at the same time that we're finding him a hobby, we are also working on the summer kitchen of the home. And I will never forget walking in to check on progress and seeing you along with the staff that were helping you just in soot.
Yeah.
It looked like you came out of a coal mine. Tell us about that experience, because I wasn't there firsthand as you were cleaning it out.
Yeah, I think that was one of the biggest challenges of that whole renovation. I mean, there were like years and years and years of, first of all, stuff in there. I mean, just varied stuff that had to be cleared out. And then there was just an accumulation of dirt, grime, dust. And of course, it used to be a summer kitchen. So, there around where the fireplace was, oh my goodness, there was soot, all that kind of stuff in there. So all that had to be, just cleaned out and stuff. That took a long, long time. I think we ended up wearing
You did.
like face masks and stuff like that. And when we'd take it off, our mouths would be white and everything else. It would be just all gritty and things like that.
Oh, we have some footage we're going to overlay so people can see it. It's impressive.
But it was once it was all done and everything and cleaned out, it was kind of satisfying having done all that, and then being able to start on the actual renovation.
Yeah.
I really believe that renovation was one of my favorites because it ended up being so cool.
It did.
Yeah.
And we got to do some really cool things in doing the project itself.
Yeah.
Like knocking out of the ceiling and things like that. That was actually fun.
Oh, really?
I actually enjoyed that. Standing up top there and knocking it down and stuff like that. That was actually fun. But
So you'd rather break things than paint things.
yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
demo.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'll
But
keep
there
that
was a
in mind.
lot of scraping involved in that too.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
walls had to be scraped. All that old paint and the grime and everything had to be scraped and everything like that. So that's just contributed to my hate of paint in general.
What was your favorite part of that renovation?
Seeing it done.
Well, that's not very specific.
But it really surprised me how nice that turned out. It really was cool.
Yeah.
It's sort of like when it was done, I sort of thought maybe I shouldn't have sold this farm because I could stay
Because of
in
that
and
room?
enjoy that and then another room.
Yeah.
Okay, so speaking of that room, I ended up moving into that farm before it sold, and a bird got into that room, the summer kitchen.
Really?
And it came through the fireplace, and it pooped over all the furniture, all over the freshly painted walls,
I'm glad
on
I
the
didn't see that.
carpets. It was very sad, and I never sat in that room
Really?
and enjoyed it. I was so excited to move in the home and have
yeah,
one
absolutely.
beautiful room.
What a great room to hang out in.
Yeah.
I mean, it just it had that. I mean, the paint that you chose and everything was kind of like a
Oh, that's so
calming
funny because
effect and stuff like that.
that's not like when it was done and I saw the finished product, it wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be.
Uh-huh.
I should have gone way darker, but I was scared to go too dark. But I mean, it came out nice,
Oh, it
but
did
like
come out,
it
yeah.
wasn't what I expected. So,
And we did put a new roof on the house
yeah.
and cap the chimney before we
did.
sold it.
Okay. Yeah.
So they get to enjoy the
Yeah,
room.
they get to enjoy it without the birds.
So, David, you're a volunteer firefighter.
I am. Yes, I
Yes.
just actually into my 40th year doing that.
No way.
Yeah, 40 years. I know. I've been
Wow.
doing it most of my adult life. There was a time when I didn't do it. I started when I was age 16
Okay.
as a kid or whatever, and then when I graduated from college, I moved out to Michigan and I joined the department there, and I went through the whole ranks and actually retired as fire chief of that town. That was a part-time job for me, and that was the same town that I had the job with all the managing all the facilities and the concerts and the festivals and things like that, all those facilities or whatever. So I moved away from that town, or I would have continued to do that. I mean, and I was away for it for probably 11 years, and then when my wife and I moved back here to Pennsylvania, I made the mistake of going down to the local fire station on work night and just popped in. I was just going to say, I just wanted to see what trucks they had and all that kind of thing. It's fire company stuff. And they said, well, don't you want to run fire calls? I said, well, I don't think it makes a whole lot of sense. I was almost 62 at the time. And I said, I don't think it makes a lot of sense for an old guy to be out running fire calls. Well, apparently, I guess it does make sense because here I am. I'm still doing it, 7 years later. So, but yeah, I've done that my entire life. Currently, I'm actually still a firefighter. I make some concessions to my old age. I don't do a lot of interior firefighting and stuff like that. It doesn't make a lot of sense to put an older person's circulatory system through that stress, and stuff like that. But I really enjoy working with the younger folks in the department. It's always been said that the best thing an old firefighter can do is help a young firefighter to become an old firefighter.
Right.
So I enjoy the teaching and the coaching and things like that. And then I made a little bit of a stretch, and I accepted the position of chaplain with the fire company, and that has been an interesting endeavor, but that has been really, really rewarding. We have had a really tough stretch, so it has all come into play. And as a chaplain, it's kind of like a two-pronged thing. We say we reach out and we reach in. So we reach out and to the communities. And when I was a fire chief, when I was at a scene, there's so much chaos and things to get organized and to manage and things like that. But I always saw people who like owned the house or were victims of this whatever it was you were dealing with over here on the side, and you never had time to interact with them or whatever, and they have no idea what's going on. I mean, this is pure chaos, and everything that they have invested and built and everything is burning down, or it could be other types of situations. So I always felt bad because that was another piece of the being able to serve the community and the customer service piece that we couldn't provide. So this is an opportunity now for me. Right. I arrive as a firefighter and a rescuer, and then when there's enough, either we mitigate this whatever's going on, or there's enough resources, whatever, then I kind of peel off and try to find out whoever is is being a victim of this or whatever like that, and try and help them through the whole thing. Right. Keep them informed what's going on, helping them they're not used to dealing with the chaos and the noise and the destruction and all that kind of stuff. So I just try to just be there for them. That's all. I mean, that's all you can really do is just be there. And then the other component is, of course, the people within the fire company. We have been through 2 multi-fatality fires within 3 weeks of each other. I mean, that's unheard of, and especially for a small rural fire company like us, to have to deal with that. So, of course, we bring professionals in to help us, deal with the emotional, outcomes of those types of things. But I'm kind of like the first responder for that. I try to talk people through what they're feeling about it, get them to talk about what their emotions are, because the worst thing you can do is just hold it all within. We do that on the scene, but certainly, at some point it's going to come out. And if you don't get it out in a controlled manner, sometimes it can come out in a lot of destructive kinds of ways. Right. And then I was surprised how many people come to me with personal problems. I kind of like feel like a tribal elder in that respect.
It's neat that God's using you in that way.
Yeah, and like I said, I wouldn't think that was one of my primary gifts, but you can stretch, sure. And I certainly know the Holy Spirit, can equip you for certain situations and at certain times, and I really feel like that's kind of happened here.
Right. Right. So being a chaplain for a fire company has caused you to stretch a lot, and being in reality TV has caused you to stretch a lot too.
I think it causes me to hide, to withdraw.
Well, you just gave a lot of good counsel and wisdom here in what you're saying. You know, the elderly is helping the younger to do better. And I feel like it could be the opposite here because in this episode, I'm trying to help my dad get a hobby. And I'm the younger trying to help the older. And so, I mean, we did lots of hobbies. I don't know if you were privileged to even see what we were filming or doing in the moment.
This is all new to me.
Yeah, so he was busy working. We're over here filming all of the fun things that we're doing. So we went running.
Yeah.
Hence our attire today.
Yeah. I ran. I was much less winded when we were done running than you were.
I wonder why. So
And then we played tennis.
no, back up. So for those who haven't, for those of you who are listening to this podcast who haven't seen the episode yet, we go for a run. Dad goes, "Yep, I'm gonna go for a run," and then proceeds to hop onto a side-by-side and drives while I'm running. So he got out of that. That was not even.
But I was cheering you on, and you did really well.
That wasn't even a
Coaching.
practice.
I was coaching,
and then
coaching the younger.
yeah, and then he literally almost hits me with the side-by-side at the end. Like it happened so fast, and the cameras didn't. I mean, it was unexpected.
Yeah.
It wasn't planned. But he, almost hit me, and the cameras didn't really capture that. But if you stare and watch back, and you'll see that he almost hit me.
No, I didn't almost hit you. You ran in front of.
Oh,
of me.
right.
Oh, boy.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we did running. That was not a hobby for you. We did tennis.
Yeah.
What did you?
I whooped you. I mean, you didn't want to keep score. It was so bad.
What?
Oh, man.
How come we have different memories of
I
this?
have that wicked curve serve, man. You couldn't even.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I went, "Ah!" But then you can see me cheering and jumping because I obviously got a point on you.
Oh, you did. You got a point. Yeah. Out
One
of 20,
point.
you got one. You did. You did.
I know what you're
We're celebrating.
So did you like tennis or not? I mean,
Yeah. I enjoyed that. Because I used to play tennis, and it was pretty good. Not like on a team or
I was
anything.
going to say,
No, with my friends.
okay. I used to
growing
go
up.
play basketball outside. I
Well,
used
no,
to go
but
play soccer outside.
I actually played tennis against somebody who was on the high school team.
Oh, so that counts.
and I beat them every time, almost every time.
Then why weren't you on the team?
Well, she was a girl. So
Oh my goodness. The truth
wasn't
comes
that good.
out.
All right.
And she was not the starter. So she was on the team by default.
Oh my goodness. All right. So then we tried painting.
Yeah.
And if you've
Yeah.
ever watched those viral videos online where there's like two people painting each other, facing each other, but you can't see their canvases, that was what we were going for,
Yeah.
doing a portrait. And I laughed until I cried, and you did too.
I did.
It was so bad.
It was so bad.
And what wasn't portrayed in the edit, which I wish could have been portrayed in the edit, was we were very limited on time. So, like, I wish that the viewers would have seen, like, we only had 5 minutes
Something like that.
to paint each other. So it wasn't, like, a very detailed painting. It was very cartoonish because, like, we had 5
yours
minutes.
Mine was
Oh,
pretty
yours was
realistic.
so
If
realistic.
I had more time, mine would have turned out.
Yes.
Yeah.
Another thing that wasn't portrayed was that the colors we had were just like the colors of the rainbow. So if we wanted a skin tone color, we had to mix it.
Oh.
So I spent the majority of my time mixing colors, which again, the viewers didn't see. He didn't mix any colors, and I had an orange face.
I was about to say, I would imagine. Oh, Oompa Loompa you turned out to be? Okay.
Yeah, but my whole face wasn't even painted in. It was just the outline was like orange, and then it was.
Art is not my thing, obviously.
No, I looked like a monkey with dreadlocks. It was so
You
bad.
actually did pretty good. I mean, it doesn't look like me what you did.
Well,
but
he told me
I love
he had an acorn on his head, but it was really his hat, and it just kind of.
Well, yours looks more like a person than mine did.
Yeah, it looked
you
like
did
a
much
monkey.
better. Yeah, you did
Yeah.
much better than mine.
So painting wasn't a
No,
hobby
that
for
wasn't
you.
my thing.
That's a hobby for me.
I was about to say, so what did you find for a hobby for him?
Well, dirt biking was the hobby that we
that's
ended up
dangerous.
on.
Wait a second.
That's what I said. That's what I said. So the funny part about this that nobody knows till they listen to the podcast is that the last scene of the entire episode is Dad, in quotations, taking off and like doing a little wheelie. And here, that was our producer who got on the dirt bike and popped a
did it.
wheelie. and they like
You
literally.
had a stunt double already?
I
I
did.
know.
You are a
so
star, man.
Yeah.
You are a star.
I gave him my clothes to wear and everything.
It was great.
But it looked like me taking off. I was like, no, I wouldn't do that.
I'm
Well,
pretty
you
sure.
can't even stay on a donkey.
I was just gonna say, I'm pretty sure he was
know.
already hurt at that point. So, I mean, dirt biking is fun. It's not really a hobby that you do. My boys love dirt biking, and I like doing that with my kids. But his hobby in real life is collecting junk. I mean,
I've
that's
seen the result of that.
literally-
Yes.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes. I mean, do you have another hobby other than?
Being a woodaholic, I'm a woodaholic. I
Taking
like collecting
naps?
wood, taking naps.
Does that count?
Oh, that's
Napping?
important. Never, ever discount the value of a well-placed power nap.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Old guy wisdom there, okay?
Okay.
So learn, young lady.
I agree.
all
Yeah,
right.
power nap. 5-10 minutes. It turns into an hour or two. But
I was gonna say not 5 minutes.
Yeah. What was it? There was something else we did. I forget what it was. There was another hobby, no?
No.
Another one? Okay.
Uh-uh.
I still haven't found my hobby.
Yeah. I
Okay.
guess not.
I like shooting varmints.
As a hobby is something you do often.
For
I
fun.
would think.
Well, when you own a
for fun.
farm, I mean,
Yeah, there's plenty of
They're
farmers. Come to
digging
our
holes.
house. We have problems with
Yeah.
moles and voles and stuff like that.
and for those who aren't farmers, you have to understand that if you're driving a tractor through a field and you're going
Right.
relatively quick, if there's a foxhole or a groundhog hole, you could flip it.
A tractor, yeah.
A tractor. In fact, the one farm that we bought, years ago, the one
Yeah.
lady was mowing and went too fast, hit a hole, flipped over.
And died.
She died. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so that's
Just
what
from
the
horse-
point
yeah.
is that we don't kill animals for fun.
Right.
But when there's overpopulated and they're going to ruin the crops and make it dangerous to farm, you got to do something.
Sure. And even with a horse farm, to kind of piggyback on that, the
That's true.
horses, they put their foot in, they get
right.
hurt so easy. Like,
Yeah.
they get hurt on anything.
Yeah.
So for them, that's also, the
Yeah, they're
holes are
running through the
dangerous.
field and they step in one, break a leg, they could have to be put down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, we love our animals, but
Yeah.
anyway.
Speaking of horse farms, I drove past the farm where we got the fence.
Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that brought back some great memories. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So the horse farm that we filmed at, we needed new fencing because the fencing that was on the farm when we bought it is called high tensile wire
Right.
fencing.
That's right.
And horses, again, they get hurt on anything and they slice themselves open and it's awful.
When we bought the horse farm, we had horses that were not in good condition. The farm was not worthy of having horses.
Right.
So I was selling them, giving some away so they could be
Taken
properly
care
cared
of.
for.
Yeah.
And the one young lady who was the manager of this high-end farm
Mm-hmm.
where we got the fencing, she was helping us to find
Homes.
homes for the horses.
Yep.
And so that's how we met her. And she said, we were talking about the fence. I said, I know the fence is horrible. Some of the horses have gotten hurt on it. And, she said, well, we're getting new fencing where we are, and there's really nothing wrong with it, but the owner just likes to change it. So it goes from like a plastic fence to a wood fence, to a split rail or whatever kind. And so I said, so what's she going to do with it? Because I've seen the fencing. It's
Here
beautiful.
we go, the wheel
Yeah.
and dealer. I love this.
Yeah.
And so she said, well, they're going to just get rid of it. They have to pay the fence company $30,000 to take it down. I said, well, I'll take it down for free. And I said, would you check with the owner? And she said, sure. And so she did. And the owner agreed to it. And so then that gave David employment.
Yeah, I made the 30,000 doing it. No,
Yeah, right?
not quite.
So we had like 3 or 4 different people helping, and it took a while.
Oh, I'll tell you what, that was interesting because
Yeah.
you remember the first one we did. We started out. It was the smallest. There were 22 pastures, I think, at this horse farm. 22.
I had no
I
idea.
kid you not.
Whoa.
And the first one we did was the smallest one, and
Yeah.
4 of us
Yeah.
were there, and
Yeah.
it took us most of the day to do
Yeah.
that pasture.
Oh, yeah.
But we didn't know what we were doing.
That's right.
So as we did a couple more, we figured out a technique. We made
Yeah.
ourselves a little tools and everything. By the 5th, 6th, 7th ones,
Yeah.
basically there were 2 of us, and then at the end I was the one doing it, and
Yeah.
I could do one within like a
Yeah.
mid-sized pasture. I could do that in 6 hours.
Yeah.
You
Wow.
know, it was like in the fall.
Yeah.
And it was crisp and sunny and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was cool and everything like that. And I could go out there by myself and work my way around and get all the stuff off of there. And then Jeff would show up and he'd bring the tractor and we'd pull the the posts.
Yeah.
The old Green Acres show. I figured I asked him to wear a coat and a tie one time because that's what it reminded me of. And then Tom would bring the trailer and we loaded up and off we went. And
Yeah.
we did that for a couple months, I think. And
Well, you stuck with it. I mean,
Yeah.
you were there a lot. And then the fencing that we ended up getting cost around, I think it was $300,000 new
From Europe.
from Europe.
Yeah.
It was imported, special material, so the horses wouldn't get hurt, kind of thing. And it cost me $7,000 to get it
In wages.
in wages, thanks to especially David got most of the
Yep.
wages 'cause he did most of the work. I mean,
Yeah.
he just even bad weather. I remember the weather wasn't
oh,
good.
we
so they-
finished up and it was snowing.
Yeah.
But we had to get it out because the fence company kept working in the snow. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were amazing, David. You were
Yeah.
amazing. As we're reminiscing, I'm thinking of all the things you did to save me.
Well, I knew whenever I agreed to help you do something, I knew I was going to get very dirty, very tired, and very wet. Not necessarily in that order, but
That's like the pilot episode we did. You helped with that, and it started pouring down rain, and we're
that's
putting
right,
the
you were
canopy
there.
up. Remember, and this wind.
oh
and the
yeah,
rain
yeah,
blowing.
right, yeah, holding the tent down and
Oh,
everything.
well, we're going to have to show that here for our listeners
Okay.
because
All right.
there's some solid material there from the pilot episode
Yeah.
that is hidden on YouTube forever and ever. Nobody can find it. So I have a list of some things that happened or things that we found during the renovation in the summer kitchen, one of which was finding that envelope in the
Oh,
flooring.
yeah, right.
Which was so cool that there was an envelope. I still have no idea
yeah,
what was in it. Why would you hide an envelope in the floor? I still don't really know. Don't understand.
Yeah. But the name on the envelope was Oberholzer,
Oberholzer.
which is the name of the road.
Yep.
And so they're the people who used to live on the horse farm
Mm-hmm.
in that house.
So the fun fact about that farm and the other farm that you bought next door was we were like the next owners outside of family.
Oh,
Because
uh-huh.
both of the farms that we owned, which we now have sold, there was one on Oberholzer Road and then there was one on Schlegel Road,
Right,
which both roads intersected. And so Oberholzer we bought from, oh no, we didn't buy it from an Oberholzer. Just kidding. They were not Oberholzers.
Well, I wasn't going to tell you lied, but
Oh, well, you
think
could have
it's not.
corrected me, you know. I'm not always right. But I did reconnect with the Oberholzer family.
Right.
And he was from the gentleman I'm talking with or have talked with. He's from California and he flew out here and visited family down the street and came and saw the farm after we did some renovations.
Oh,
And he
cool.
reminisced and sent me some old pictures of his family
Wow.
that were black and white of his grandmother on the farm. And then the other farm was on Schlegel Road, which we bought from the Schlegels.
right. Right.
So that was pretty
But
cool.
the Oberholzer farm, the son or grandson, I guess, who came to visit that you were talking about,
Yeah.
he gave you arrowheads that were found on the farm.
Oh,
and
wow.
he gave them
Uh-huh.
to us, and
Yeah.
so it was sort of
The
cool.
history is just so cool.
Yeah.
And even the envelope that we found, I put in a frame and put on the mantle
Mm-hmm.
as the final reveal because it's part of the history of the home, which I like to incorporate
And
little
the,
things.
the date on the envelope
Yep.
is right around the time when the Titanic went down.
Yes.
And we think it's possible that the person who sent it to them.
You're repeating what's going to be in the episode. So
Oh,
they
I
could just
understood that.
watch it and they could,
Well,
you
there's
know,
they need to watch it
they
anyway.
could learn that.
Oh,
They
yeah.
do need to watch it anyway. They need to see your painting. They need to see
Yeah.
you fake running and
And
tennis.
whooping you at tennis.
You did
Come
whoop me
on.
in tennis. Actually,
come
you
on.
can see I had a
Look.
lot of energy and I was all excited, and you're like,
No,
You know.
watch the episode
Just
and
saying.
then you tell us who won at tennis. Like it was close.
just saying, just saying. David, if you could ask us anything, or my dad anything, do you have a question that you would like to ask? This is something we ask all of our guests.
One thing that impressed me about Jeff, okay, is, currently there's a lot of talk about some people who are really good at getting deals done and everything like that. I'm telling you what, this guy would compete with anybody for that title or whatever. So, Jeff, have you always been really good at deal making and, setting things up and, that type of thing? Or is that something that's just come about later in life here?
No.
Good question.
I guess I was born a wheeler and dealer. The first business I owned was the Coventry Ice Cream Parlor. It was an empty barn.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but before I owned it, I drove by and saw it was empty. It was right next to a mall, like perfect location. And so I called the owner and I said, would you consider, I'd like to rent the barn as an ice cream parlor. And he said, no, we're not going to do any business like that. We want it to be either an insurance company or a lawyer or something like that. We don't want a bunch of customers. So I said, okay. Called him back the next day. And I said, hey, called you yesterday. I know you said no, but if I paid you 3 months rent in advance and I did all the renovations to the inside of the barn, would you then allow me to do the ice cream parlor? He thought about it. He said, I'll tell you what, give me 2 months rent. You do all the renovations and then you can do an ice cream parlor. Like, you can't just say no and give up. It doesn't work that way. You need to work to make it happen. So,
well, one thing that's always impressed me about you is I would say you're almost fearless sometimes. You know, when people are looking for reasons why something isn't going to work, you're already convinced that it is going to work.
Yeah.
You know, and you're going to go ahead and do something. Now, you don't always get it right. You know, but I think your track record is pretty good in that kind of a thing. Yeah. So that's one thing that's always impressed me is you're just willing to move forward and get things done.
I appreciate that. So 13 of the 15 businesses that I've owned have been successful. So 2 of them weren't. So that's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Well, with a TV show, we can start a new business on each farm. So once a year, if we film one season a year.
That's what I look forward to doing this. Yeah. And
the business side of things, you're excited about. For me, I mean, I'm excited about the business side, but I'm very excited about the design. So we make a good team. I mean, God has really
it's been a lot of fun.
given us the
absolutely
passions and desires that we have. And
can't wait to the next farm. We've gotten an error down to 2, so we need to pick which one we want.
We're making progress. Well, David, thank you for being here.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. Nice catching up with you guys. I haven't seen you for a while. So.
I know. Yeah. Well, we'll have to make that happen.
Yeah.
Season 2. Okay. All right. We'll see you in the next podcast.